Everyone knows I love UCF. My in-laws live just outside of Orlando, and they have always been very kind to me. But I don't know if you're going to get 7 wins. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and I'm going to try to do my best. Stephen A. Smith, he's got a little show going on where he's solo on occasion. So I am solo on occasion, and I'm solo today. And today we're going to preview the Big 12. So on today's episode, we will preview the Big 12 Conference in preparation for the 2023 college football season. In segment one, I'm going to give my initial thoughts on the Big 12 Conference, tell you all of the teams and their over-unders, see what I agree with, see what I disagree with. In segment two, I'm going to talk about the major storylines of the Big 12 headed into the season. And in segment three, I am going to make season predictions strictly for entertainment purposes only. So let's jump into it. I'm going to share my quick thoughts on each team's projected win total. Baylor is 7.5. I don't know. I'm not going to put anything on it. So we're going to keep moving. BYU is 6 wins. You're playing a full Power 5 schedule. Man, it's going to be tough to get 6 wins because that's week after week going after it. 6 is probably your cap. I'm going to stay away from that one. Cincinnati has talked a lot, and Luke Fickell is gone. Their over-under is 4.5, and that's about right. So I'm going to leave them alone. Houston, that guy that came from West Virginia, Dale someone, man, I hope your buyout's in order because you got Big 12 coming in. You can't go 4.5 wins. That's what the over-under is. So I would rent, not own. Iowa State, shout out to my boy Kevin Monroe, former Iowa State Cyclone, 5.5. It's about right, Kev. I'm sorry about that. Kansas is 6.5. Now, last year, Kansas was everybody's darling. Now they're game planning for Kansas. So good luck with that. I don't know about 6.5 because Kansas is still Kansas. So I hope I'm not disrespecting you, but I can't see you with 7 wins. But you had a great season last year and you won me a couple of coins. Kansas State, shout out to Dr. Lisa Rubin, one of my favorite people. 8.5. Can you get over? Can you get over the hump? I don't know if my $10 is going to do it, but we'll see. Oklahoma is 9.5. Now, Oklahoma's coach came in and really had, to quote my old assistant coach, Rob Pfeiffer, a piss poor season. He also spouted off about Deion, and I'm kind of sensitive about Coach Prime. Coach Prime got a 1-11 team. Yeah, we're going to turn the roster over. So they got Oklahoma at 9.5. Out of spite, I just might take the under and see if you could put up and get that 10th win. I don't know if you're going to get 9. So that might be one I peek my hat on. I'm not a fan of Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy. They're 6.5, and good for them. Hope you get run. I will root for Oklahoma once. How about that? TCU, outstanding season. Give Sonny Dykes a raise, get the bag, and take these 7.5 wins and get on out of the way because that's not going to happen again. Which leads us to Texas. Texas is 9.5. They're going to the SEC next year. They've got an opportunity early in the season to get some big wins. The Big 12 just not that good. That might be a good pick. I might have to put a 10 spot on there after taking the under with Texas last year in a 2-play. We'll see. Texas Tech is not that bad. The over-under is 7.5. Don't know if I'm willing to put 10 down and go 8, but they're not that bad. Everyone knows I love UCF. My in-laws live just outside of Orlando, and they have always been very kind to me. But I don't know if you're going to get 7 wins. It's kind of like how I feel about North Carolina. Man, you guys are good people and I wish you well, but that might not work out. And West Virginia's 4.5. You need to get some NIL money going in there or something. But 4.5 sounds about right. So there's the initial thoughts on the Big 12 conference. When we get back, going to talk about some major storylines that I'm following about the Big 12 conference when we get back on the Odd Coaches podcast.
The CKA SAVE Project is an industry leader in advocating for student-athlete, academic, and athletic needs. Through academic and athletic enrichment, the CKA SAVE Project is on the forefront of the issues facing 21st century student-athletes. As student-athletes continue to struggle to find a better balance between academic and athletic success, the CKA SAVE Project offers academic and athletic services to support student-athlete academic success, including academic skills assessment, academic and athletic consulting, academic monitoring, academic and athletic workshops. For more information or to schedule a free consultation, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches podcast and segment 2 of our Big 12 preview. Here are the storylines that I'm kind of watching throughout the season with the Big 12 conference. 1, will Texas run away from the conference? Man, I hope so, because that's the best story. The opportunity is there. They play at Alabama September 9th. You talk about making a big swing into the abyss of winning, going to the Isle of Relevancy, to quote Roman Reigns. You've got a chance. You also have the Oklahoma game. So they could be undefeated in conference play, and that will put them in a position where they got a chance for the college football playoffs. So Texas will be watched all year. How will the newcomers deal with the spotlight? How will the newcomers deal with the bright lights and big city of a big conference? To quote my buddy Robert, this ain't the American anymore. You're in a big boy conference. I don't think they're going to do very well. They are not Power 5 good yet to go week in and week out. Yeah, you can get a win or two upset here and there, but every week you're going against some heat. I don't know if you can go against that kind of heat every week. Another question I'm going to follow, another storyline I'm going to follow is, will Oklahoma come back? Well, first, they're going to be better than last year because they don't have a choice. 2, they got better players. Games to watch, SMU, don't lose. Texas, uh-oh. And then Oklahoma State, that is a rivalry game, and you always got to be mindful of rivalry games. So they should bounce back because they don't have a choice. They got to bounce back. Don't have a choice. And then finally, who will be this year's TCU out of the Big 12? Man, push your chips to the middle with Texas. If Texas doesn't do it, none of them are going to do it, because you still got the SEC and the possibility of 2 teams coming out of the SEC. You still got the Pac-12, but I don't know who USC's playing. We'll talk about that during the Pac-12 episode. Big Ten's good. So you got that going on. So we'll see. But Texas is their best shot. So I know secretly they're rooting for Texas, but then also they don't want Texas to do too well either. But if you want that Big 12 to get that last bite at the apple, you got to have Texas do it for you. And then Texas leaves along with Oklahoma. So when we get back in segment 3, we'll talk about things strictly for entertainment purposes only as we make some predictions on the Odd Coaches podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student-athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Folarin Campbell said, Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams, just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey. Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 3, it is time to make predictions. Who's going to win the conference? Texas. Texas will win the conference. Who are the projected bowl teams? Got a lot of them coming out of the Big 12. Texas, bowl team. Baylor is a bowl team. BYU, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, much to my chagrin. TCU will be a bowl team. Texas Tech will be a bowl team, and UCF will be bowling somewhere. Don't know where, but they're going to do something. Is there a college football playoff team coming out of this conference? If anybody is coming out, it is Texas. Texas is it. And for my final thoughts, it's Texas or bust with the Big 12. And then it's bust because Oklahoma and Texas are leaving to the better pastures of the SEC. And then you're down to teams that may not do well. So on behalf of our cavalcade of stars, I am Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching our Big 12 preview. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time. Take care.
The Odd Coaches Podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches Podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches Podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches Podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach FRANCHIZE. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.